The Solo Show is brought to you by Victor Naraki Realtor, serving Disney and the greater Orlando area with celebratingflorida.com and disneyatyourdoorstep.com.
Hello, I'm Realtor Victor Naraki, and at one time I had created a search for you online for homes near Disney World. I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to my brand new website. Same name, new functionality, celebratingflorida.com. If you're still looking for property near Disney World, please take a look at the website. If it's a future wish, visit disneyatyourdoorstep.com for all my social media links. Thank you, and hopefully we will talk soon.
Emergency broadcast, if you can hear me!
We are not who we were when we started.
Imperial ships are already landing.
We need to speak out. We need to stand up.
Is there no one who can help us?
We need a pilot. A soldier.
Everything I did for the rebellion.
Revolutionary movements are spontaneously happening all over the galaxy. How those come together is the stuff of our story.
If season 1 laid the track, then season 2 is the juggernaut.
The Empire cannot win.
Well, they haven't won yet.
We're building a real army.
The rebellion's everywhere now.
Galaxy of opportunities.
The insurgents have weapons at this point.
We're counting on it.
These 12 episodes are going to take us over the next 4 years into Rogue One. The complexity of the show, the possibilities of the show. It has to be all in.
Nobody's allowed in here.
You're thinking like a thief.
I'm thinking like a soldier.
Think like a leader.
The size and scale of this production is unparalleled. The sets and the costumes are breathtaking.
Everyone does the homework. Everyone takes the time. And you can tell.
Proceed.
This is it. This is what you live for.
It's human, it's incredibly truthful, and it just happens to be in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. This is an emergency broadcast. Is anybody listening? As I said at the beginning of that little teaser, we're going to be talking Andor Season 2. This is our pre-show, but before we get to that, I got a little bit of housekeeping to go over with. We're doing this one kind of early. Normally we would do this like a week before the series starts. We're doing like a month before, over a month before. And the reason being is I'm not going to be around when the series drops. I'll actually be in Tokyo when the series drops. So we're doing this early. And then for the next 3 solo shows, it's going to be a series of game shows. We're going to be playing Password. And so I have some contestants already lined up. We actually already recorded them, so I already know who won. And I got the solo cups made, and they're going to be mailed out shortly. So hopefully they get them by the time this comes out. Yeah, they probably won't. But anyways, so that's something you look forward to. Password coming up, the next 3 solo shows.
Cool.
But today we're talking Andor Season 2, and I got the round table of the usual contestants, or the most popular contestants, or the ones that are on the most.
Most willing to say yes.
Yeah. We'll start off with who came in first. Jedi Scott, how are you today, my friend? Are you excited for Andor Season 2?
Oh, yeah. I'm doing great, and yes, I can't wait. Unfortunately, we got to wait another 5-6 weeks to go before the season premiere, so looking forward to it. Season 1 was amazing.
Yeah, we're doing this a bit early, but I think we got some information already.
A little bit.
Yeah,
we got a little bit.
Watching some of the trailers and all that, it just piques my interest even more.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about. Second one in was Food Fairy Kris from the Grand Circle Tour podcast. Food Fairy Kris, how are you today, my friend? And what did you think of the trailers, and are you excited?
I'm wonderful. And yes, I am extremely excited for this. You know how much I love the character of Cassian Andor. I love Diego Luna. I love Rogue One. You know, that's like in my top 5 of Star Wars films.
Mhm.
And just these trailers, oh my gosh, the one that you just played, you can just see how it's going to meld right into Rogue One.
Yeah.
The costuming and everything is like movie quality. So you could literally make a film out of this. There is just no doubt about it.
And that's kind of what we're getting. We're sort of getting 4 films
Yes.
out of this series.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Patrick, you weren't here for our roundtables for Andor season 1. I was Chris, not. I think Kenobi was your favorite series, correct?
It was, but this one was a very, very close second. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Patrick? By the way, how are you today? And and welcome back to our roundtables.
Oh, thanks.
Are you excited?
I'm doing well. Yeah. I'm very excited. I don't know if you guys saw, but right as you started the trailer, headphones came off, hands went over the eyes.
Oh,
so
you're one of those guys.
I'm not doing it. And I think I've told the story before about how I've ruined things for myself with expectations. So I'm going in I loved season 1. It was groundbreaking in many, many ways for TV shows, particularly Star Wars TV shows. I mean, I'll still go back and watch some of those Luthen monologues that were just the greatest. You know, what do I sacrifice? Everything.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Ooh. Anyway, I can't wait. And I don't like how trailers lie to you or mislead you, so I don't want to have anything leading me down a path that might make sense for me and then be disappointed that it doesn't happen.
Well, I remember Rogue One was famously, that trailer that came out for Rogue One, there was a lot in that official trailer that Lucasfilm put out that didn't even appear in the movie. If you recall that TIE fighter that was right at that when she was on that planet.
Right there on the top of that
walkway
bridge or whatever it was
thing,
on top of the building.
Yeah, and there that X-Men kind of appeared right in front of her in the trailer. I'm like, how is she going to escape that? You know, like, it wasn't even in the movie; it was only in the trailer. So there you go.
Well, and then one of the most famous lies of all trailers of recent history was Infinity War. The first one. In the trailer, there was a scene where everyone's charging in Wakanda. It's before the snap, right? It's the first big fight. And Banner was the Hulk in the trailer. And then in the movie, spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched Infinity War, Banner wouldn't turn into the Hulk in the first one. So anyway,
there you go.
I don't trust him.
How about you, Stan? What do you think of it?
Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait. I'm hoping that I get into the panel for Andor at Celebration. They're doing it differently. It's really weird the way they're doing Celebration this year. Instead of having an opening ceremonies panel and a parks panel and all that, like that you would have to get reservations for, they have an Ahsoka panel. They have an Andor panel. They have a Visions 3 panel that you need reservations for.
So are they breaking it up in the series then? The Star Wars series?
Yeah, it's like those are the titles of these panels, and those are the ones you need the reservations for. Whereas normally you'd be like, I don't think they call it the opening ceremonies, but whatever they called it on the first one on the first day. And now generally that's when they would show the trailer for the next upcoming movie. I don't know if we're going to get a trailer for any movie at Celebration. Like, it seems kind of early.
Well,
but there's an Andor panel. So that's what I'm most
excited. The Andor panel, they'll be showing the first 3 episodes, I'll bet.
I'm guessing, yeah. Or you'll get a wristband to come back.
A lottery?
Yeah, it's a lottery type thing, yeah. So the lottery hasn't even opened yet as of this recording.
I got my fingers crossed for you, Stan. Let's see if I can send some of my good juju to you. Because the last time I did something like that, I got Deadpool and Wolverine. There you go.
There you go. That's what I need. I need some
I remember getting the Mandalorian panel.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty neat, but I ended up giving that away to someone who enjoyed it a lot more than I did.
That was back when we didn't even know what Mandalorian was.
Exactly.
Yeah, all we knew was we knew who the Mandos were, but we didn't know what the Mandalorian was going to be. The Mandalorian, we didn't know Din or anything. Some news came out this week, or that got this week, I guess, late last month. And I'm not sure if this was a leak. I don't think it was a press announcement, but Kathleen Kennedy, they kind of announced that she's going to be retiring by the end of this year. I know a lot of fans were not big fans of hers. I haven't heard too many people yelling off the rooftops how excited they were. Maybe I'm just in the wrong chats. I'm in the more positive ones.
I haven't seen anybody say anything positive about her, that they were upset that she was leaving. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
and I've seen a lot of the mixed reviews.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, Patrick. You have a lot to say, I know.
Well, I was going to say it's hard to argue with her box office, right? Like, she's been a producer at Lucasfilm working with Spielberg and George Lucas for 30 years. She's been a producer on some of our favorite movies. So the fact that there may be a property that has gone in a direction that half of the fans, or however many of the fans, may not enjoy as much, I don't think that diminishes the fact that she's been a part of some of the biggest box office successes in Hollywood history.
Right. But at the same time, okay, so let's say, like, since she kind of took over, like since George Lucas stepped aside and she took over, she's had hits and misses.
I think she's had more misses than hits lately. And we're in a society now that's, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then she hasn't proved anything over the last several years of what she did. Well, she might have had a couple things here and there, but when you look at the grand scheme of things in probably the last 10 years, I think she's had more misses than hits. And that's just not with Star Wars. You look at even Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that bombed at the box office.
You know, and I liked it overall. There were some things I didn't like about it, but overall I liked it. But it's just, I don't know. I think it's time for some new blood. You know, some different perspectives.
Yep. Well, and she's getting up there too. I mean, you can't expect her to do this job forever.
72 or 7 in her early 70s.
Yeah, exactly. And I look at Willow. I mean, he pulled that off Disney Plus even.
Yeah.
I don't think it was even up for a year.
No.
You know, so that's definitely a miss. I love Skeleton Crew, but for whatever reason, it didn't do well in the streaming world. But how much of it is her? I mean, it's not like as if she's writing everything, she's directing everything, she's doing the score, she's doing the
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a thankless job. It really is.
Being the head of a studio or the head of a production company like this, I think you're right. She's not the one doing it all. But being the head of a thing like that, you are accountable for everything. You may not be responsible for it all, but you are accountable for everything. So, like, I agree with you, Scott, that there has been a lot of miss out there. I think a lot of her greatest successes have actually been when she's handed more control over. Like Filoni and Favreau on Mando, that's basically them, right?
Yep.
Right.
So I think that a Lucasfilm by committee might actually be, well, you know, I'm predicting now, but in my opinion, I think it would work well.
Well, that's just it. Like are they going to name somebody to replace her? Or is it just going to be Disney's going to take over?
They need to have a point person. There needs to be a point person. I think that point person probably needs to be more like a Pablo Hidalgo, somebody who is so steeped in lore that they're not really worried about anything else other than the continuity and making sure that it all makes sense.
Yep, I totally agree with you. I don't think she was into it as much as she should have been. And I think that comes across in a lot of the work. So.
Well, and I think a lot of it too was that they're just trying to be like, we need diversity. We need, you know, hiring the wrong directors for stuff, like hiring them only because they're a diverse director or something like that, as opposed to, you know, the director that they should hire. I think that hurt in a lot of cases. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to see somebody come in, though, that is more of a fan. I mean, like a true fan of Star Wars versus somebody who's just there to do a job. And she's like, oh, it's okay. I'm into it.
And if you look at the series that's came out over the last several years on Disney Plus, some of the positive ones have been like Filoni and Favreau and stuff like that. Yep. I wouldn't mind seeing them take a little bit more control on it.
Yeah.
But I could kind of agree with Patrick, though, to have like a round table of people to bounce ideas off and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
We're a round table of people.
That's right. Here we are.
But we do have a point person in Captain Stan, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Man, I don't know if geez Louise, I'd be a tough gig to take. Could you imagine?
That's one thing that I said when the rumors first came out was it's not who's going to be replacing Kathleen Kennedy. It's who's going to be the punching bag instead of Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Because no matter what direction Star Wars goes, somebody's going to dislike it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't make everybody happy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard a fun, I'm trying to think what podcast, I think pretty sure it's a podcast. And they said how Skeleton Crew was so good that even Star Wars fans liked it.
The ones who actually watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, even Star Wars fans didn't complain about this one. It was so good.
Oh my gosh.
All righty. Moving on. Okay, let's talk Andor. Do we want to do a quick recap of season 1? To be honest with you, even though we recapped every episode as they aired, I haven't watched it since.
I just did this week. I was watching kind of like every other episode, and I watched the final episode this evening before dinner, and I had forgotten some of the stuff that was in there. So I'm really glad I did that because, the connection of this new season and then leading into Rogue One when that's done, I wanted that, that last impression of the last episode of season 1. And the funny thing is that, when you're watching Disney Plus, they shrink down the credits all the time when it gets to
it drives me nuts.
And you have to press the button to get it to come back to full screen. Well, I never watched through the credits all the way of this last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the beginnings of the building of the Death Star is right there at the end. And I never saw that. And I called Paul into the living room and I'm like, you to see this because we never saw that before. And he's
seriously did because that was the whole thing. Like they were building parts of the Death Star while they were in the prison.
No, I never saw the robots and stuff putting all this stuff together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. And I was like freaking out because I had never seen
Kris, you of all people being a part of this roundtable knows you need to watch till the very end.
I know. All the Marvel ones you got to watch.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I've got the IMD season 1 episode list up so we can do a quick go through discussion of each episode. Not discussion, but one-shot thoughts on each episode. So episode 1 is Casa, where Cassian Andor's reckless search for answers about his past makes him a wanted man. He kills some Primor guys and goes on the run.
Doesn't he kill like a security guard or something like that?
Two security guards.
Two security guards,
Yeah. And he's looking for his sister.
Yeah.
Right.
And then episode 2, that would be me. Cassian attempts to lay low on Ferrix as agents of the law close in, but you also see some of the flashbacks to when Casa was a kid.
It's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 3, Reckoning. Cassian's desperation to avoid arrest leads him to a mysterious man with unknown connections. Kris, you want to tell us about that one? You just watched it.
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, God. So we meet Luthen in that episode officially for the first time. And he basically puts Cassian between some Imperial stormtroopers and him and says, it's either fight them or come with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, he essentially not blackmails him, but ropes him in to being a spy.
Yeah.
Episode
that was that one
4.
with that great set that they had, that big, huge, massive set with those chains hanging down and things falling everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Luthen's such a great character in this series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just the like one thing I didn't notice at first, but then of course they show it, but like I didn't notice it at first, was the wigs that he had, like the hair changing.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so.
Yeah, we talked about that when we did the roundtables.
Episode 4 is Aldani. Out of options, Cassian is recruited for a dangerous mission to infiltrate an Imperial garrison. So we meet all the rebel spies. The Axe forgets. Cassian must carefully navigate the distrust inherent in being the new member of a secret operation. Character building on Aldani. It's fun.
Yeah.
And in all of this, we are also meeting some of the ISB agents that are like searching the whole time, right?
Right.
Like we've met Dedra Miro. We've of course met Cyril Karn. And they're all of these stories are all out here, and they're eventually going to converge. Then the Eye, with cover from a spectacular local festival, the Aldani mission reaches a point of no return. This is one of the cooler scenes I've seen in Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree.
They pull a big heist. They steal a whole bunch of credits from the Empire. Episode 7, Announcement. The repercussions of the Aldani heist reach all the way to Coruscant while Cassian returns home. Kind of speaks for itself. Narkina 5. The Empire catches up to Cassian, but are yet unaware of his identity and past. So he just gets caught for being in the wrong place at the wrong time on a beach planet.
Yeah.
And he gets
And
sent
that's where he
to...
hides. Doesn't he get a journal? And he hides that journal in that hotel room in the light fixture. And then he gets arrested.
Yeah.
So he never goes back for that.
I need to rewatch all this. That scene right there makes me think that was in the beginning of the season. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, and then we go to Narkina 5, which I thought this 3-episode arc was definitely the most poignant of the 3. I loved it.
The prison?
Well, I'll just keep going. The 3-episode prison arc, Narkina 5, Nobody's Listening, and One Way Out. It's Cassian gets to the prison and learns what life is like there. Nobody's Listening. He is no longer happy being there, and he's trying to figure out a way out. And One Way Out, he convinces everyone to do a prison break. And it sparked a thing.
Didn't know how to swim.
Stan, at Celebration, please find both the Running of the Wilro Hoods and the One Way Out Narkina 5 run, because I know they're going to do it.
I have videos of the One Way Out run from London.
From London? Nice.
Yeah, from London Celebration.
Apparently that caused a pretty big stir with security because people didn't know what was happening.
Well, they did it every day, so I think by the 3rd or 4th day, the security was used to it.
They figured it out eventually.
Probably the
You would
first time
hope so, anyways.
Yeah. Well, then we get to Daughter of Ferrix, a fugitive once more. Cassian must make his next move before it is too late. I can't remember specifically what happened with that one. I know that we meet Saw, I think, in this one. Anybody else remember what happens in the second to last episode?
No.
I didn't watch that one today.
Yeah.
I know that it's just like more building to the end. And then the finale was Rick's Road, where Cassian's mother has died.
Yep.
And the Empire is trying to stop the funeral from happening because it's a gathering of people. And Marva Andor has quite the message for everybody.
Sure does.
on B2 EMO.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about what they actually said on the day?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Disney dubbed it.
Oh, really?
Oh, she used the bad F word on the day.
Okay.
A big ol' F the Empire.
Okay. I thought that's how it aired.
No, she says fight the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was such a great scene.
It was.
So good.
Yeah. So it's pretty clear that we may have to do some homework and rewatch this first season before we dive into it. But my plan is to watch it on the airplane. On the way there. My plan is to download them all on my iPad and to watch. I got a 13-hour flight, so
yeah. That'll take up all your time.
Yeah, plus a couple of plus a full day getting to the airport.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Patrick, for the recap. Yeah, I think lesson learned. We need to rewatch these. Season 2 is going to have 12 episodes altogether. Disney Plus is releasing 3 episodes a week over a period of 4 weeks. Each 3-episode arc is going to represent 1 year. So we're basically starting at 1 year before Rogue One, which is pretty close to 1 year before the Battle of Yavin, or 4 years before. Rogue One is really close, goes right into the Battle of Yavin practically.
Yeah.
I don't know how long is A New Hope time wise.
Well, so I mean, that's what BBY stands for, is before Battle of Yavin. So
right.
So when we start the original Star Wars: A New Hope, we are 0 BBY.
Well, at the end we are. At the end of A New Hope we are. But how long is A New Hope?
I mean,
it doesn't seem like it's that long.
It's only like a day or two.
Yeah.
From the time we see Leia's ship get sucked into Vader's Star Destroyer to the time they rescue her and they blow up the Death Star, it's 2 days.
Yeah, I would have to say it'd have to be under a week at max. I'm thinking
from the
like
time
Patrick says 2 or 3 days.
From the time that Han and Luke and Obi-Wan get pulled onto the tractor beam, pulled in with the tractor beam, it's, I think, no more than like 12 hours. Because when they get away, their hyperdrive is intact, right? But they're tracked, and then the Death Star shows up immediately. So that's,
Okay. Yeah, so I guess it's a few, less than a week in time.
I think it could be possible that in like the closing credits of this show, it could be we see him go into the road that is the beginning of Rogue One, where he's
I think in that little alleyway, trying to talk to that guy and get that information. That's what I gathered out of it, that it's going to walk right into that scene.
That's what I'm thinking too.
If there's something that I hope that they do, I loved how you could go watch Rogue One in theaters the night that it came out, which is exactly what I did. And then I came home and watched A New Hope, and it was seamless. It was like watching a 3-hour Star Wars movie. It was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, I've done that at home.
Yeah.
Where I watched Rogue One, and then right after Rogue One was done, plopped in A New Hope.
Right.
Yeah.
But how cool would it be if you could watch this show and it goes straight into Rogue One, and then Rogue One goes straight into A New Hope? That would make my little heart happy.
Yep. I hope so.
That's what I'm expecting. Yeah.
Yep.
Are we going to see Darth Vader? If we saw Darth Vader in Rogue One at the end, are we going to see Darth Vader in Andor season 2?
I would say probably yes, but maybe like a hologram or something like that, like a transmission someone's seeing.
Like feel his presence, basically, but not actually have him.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Trying to think of how that, like the level at which he operates, right? Like he's not going to show up in the ISB room with Didrimero. Like she's too low of a peon to Darth Vader. Like he's not going to show up with her.
Yeah.
So how do they rope him in to something like
they're building
this?
the Death Star, and he's overseeing that.
Well, but he's not yet. It's Krennic.
Okay.
It is
Or
Director
is it
Krennic. Yeah.
Tarkin at this point, because doesn't Tarkin end up seeing it towards the end?
Yeah,
Or
he
Krennic
took
is
it
at the beginning?
over because Krennic wasn't getting it done fast enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
It's and this is exactly why I don't watch the trailer, because I'd probably have hints as to what they could do, and now I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to see what they actually do.
Well, yeah, you know, this is all taking place, you know, like the same time frame as Rebels. Are we going to see any of the Rebels, any of the characters from Rebels in this, or Ahsoka? Because she's the one part of being with the rebellion, or a young Leia.
I'm thinking a young Leia is a high possibility.
I would love to see a different viewpoint of something that we actually already saw in Rebels. The announcement from Mon Mothma that she is officially leaving and she is forming this coalition government. Mm-hmm. She makes that announcement, I think, from the Ghost in Rebels.
Yeah, the Ghost takes her, and I think takes her to Yavin.
But so, like, they wouldn't necessarily have to show the same events, but then they could show her making the speech, and that could have just, I don't know, that would be cool. I would love to see how many times they can link this show in to things that we've already seen and make it make sense, because that's the thing. We all want it to make sense, right?
Yeah, for sure. Cap, I thought so Ahsoka, she's not really part of the rebellion though. She's kind of on her own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she
was
functioned as Fulcrum.
Rebels. Yeah, she's got Fulcrum.
Okay.
The time that I start getting confused, like I don't know what happened, is she faces off against Darth Vader in the Sith temple, and then she gets pulled into the world beyond worlds by what's his name, Ezra. And then when does she come back out? Like, do they come back out at the exact same time and she just goes off into the sunset? I always forget how that episode ends. Do you guys happen to remember?
I don't remember.
No, I don't remember either. I'm easy on that as well.
Well,
what's interesting is like Saw Gerrera. Let's talk about him a little bit. So he is part of the rebellion, but he's a different section or sanction of the rebellion, because he's they said that he's
more extreme.
He's a rebel's rebel.
Yeah, he's too extreme for the rebellion, so they kind of kicked him out of the rebellion. Be kind of cool to see, what did he do that was so extreme that the rebellion didn't want to be associated with him anymore. So I'm kind of
I am anxious to see what transpires with him.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he he didn't care about collateral damage
or citizens or anything. Like, is he going to do something that's like too extreme to that they're going to be you know what? You're a nice guy and all, but
well, we know exactly what radicalized him, and that was the death of his sister.
Right.
So
will Cyril and Deidre get together? He kind of had the hots for her in season 1.
I hope not.
Same. I hope not.
I hope not.
I like to see him get knocked out pretty early.
Yeah. I can't stand that guy.
Yeah, I didn't care for that character.
I liked his character a lot.
No,
I'm thinking maybe his mom gets tired of him and just shoots him herself.
And I don't want to see his mother either.
Well, his mother's in the trailer. Spoiler alert, Patrick.
Yeah.
I love that actress, though.
Oh, yeah, she's a good actress, but I can't stand. Oh, could you imagine having a mother like that?
Finish your cereal. You're gonna get hungry on your way to the office.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh. No, I do not want that to happen. Sorry.
We talked about the manifesto that he hid in the light fixture. Is that going to play into this at all? Is he going to go back and get it? It seemed very important in season 1.
Well, he had money in there and everything. So now he doesn't really need the money, but there's got to be important stuff in there.
Yeah. Are we going to see that at all? Or is that going to be just
I hope so. I hope we do.
What do you say, Scott?
Oh, I think so. And I think if we do see it, it's going to have to be within those first couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You would think.
Yeah.
I got a feeling we're not going to see it.
Oh, you think they're just going to leave that as a loose end?
Yeah. It's going to be something we're never going to hear about again.
I think it's going to get handed to Mon Mothma, and she's going to use that verbiage as part of the Rebel Charter. That's my guess.
That's a good guess.
That's a good thought.
That's a good guess.
I like that, Patrick.
See, I watch trailers.
I'm assuming we're going to get K2SO. We have to get K2SO. Yeah. We can't not get K2SO. Are we going to see how they recruit him, how they reprogram him, or is it just he's going to? Yes,
I think there's going to be some type of backstory towards that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that there's a 3. I think one of the 3 episode arcs might be that. I mean, I don't watch the trailer, but I've seen stills, and I see that Cassian is in a Imperial uniform at some point again, and I mean, K2SO is a reprogrammed Imperial security droid,
right?
So it has to be coming from that mission.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the trailer, we see 6 of those Imperial security droids sitting together in the trailer. So there's a steal to put in your mind there, Patrick.
Yeah.
In the trailer, we see Yavin 4, so they're going to be on Yavin 4. In A New Hope, when Leia's getting tortured, she kind of breaks down and tells them that the rebel fleet is on Tatooine, and that they send some probes to Tatooine. The Empire sends some probes to Tatooine, and they come back and they say there's remnants of an Imperial base, but it's not there anymore. There's nobody there. It's gone. Are we going to see Tatooine?
Yeah, I think we're going to see Tatooine. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all agree?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I think that'd be
so.
a kind of a cool something to see.
I mean, it's like when you're covering this much time, it's too easy to just like, it's like a softball. All you have to do is show it once or twice. Done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because this season 2 takes place over 4 years. That's correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember when we were watching season 1, and I kept asking that throughout while we were watching it, asking, is this a Star Wars show? Because there really wasn't much Star Wars in it. There's no stormtroopers. There's no lightsabers. I mean, yeah, they had blasters. There was no X-Wings. There was no Darth Vader. There was no Han Solo, no Luke Skywalker, no Force. Is this a Star Wars movie, or is this just a spy movie? Or a
It's part of the Star Wars universe. It's the Empire. It's stuff that... It's the backstories, and it's different points of views of Star Wars. Everything didn't need to be about the Skywalker saga, so to speak.
Right. And at the end, you saw...
Well, yeah. So at the end, we did.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see the TIE fighters and the X-Wings and whatnot. Yep. Watching this trailer, there's no question this is Star Wars.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We got the stormtroopers. We got TIE interceptors. We got those stormtroopers.
Plug your ears, Patrick.
That's all right.
Patrick picked the wrong show to be on. You got to just watch the trailer, man. Yeah, we get a lot of visuals that are, this is Star Wars. So I don't think we have to question that at all in this series. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're correct.
One of your questions though was the music in the trailer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I loved it. It was very powerful. So it's totally Star Wars-esque music.
Do we know who did the music for the show this year?
I don't.
Oh,
I'm just wondering.
You're talking for the series?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the same as they did for season 1. Maybe. It seems like everyone's coming back.
Yeah.
But the trailer was like you know what? I didn't know who wrote the music was for the trailer, but it's not Star Wars music for the trailer. It's like a very rock beat.
Mm-hmm. But it's still very it kind of gives you this sense of awe, really. That's the way that I felt about
powerful.
music in the trailer. Yeah.
I know a lot of people are complaining about it.
I don't know why.
Online, like that's not Star Wars music.
Oh, God.
It's classical. So.
I kind of like how Rogue One and Andor are separate from typical Star Wars in that they in my personal opinion, in order to be a Star Wars, there does need to be some force, some mystical something. Doesn't have to be much. Anything, I'm good. Because it doesn't have that, I will, me personally, will automatically lower Andor just one notch, just tiny little bit. That being said, I love Andor. It's probably the best of the shows written. I'm glad that they're going to be doing a little bit more of the typical Star Wars stuff to make it a little bit more. I love how it shows what it's like to live in the universe and not be one of those special people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. Like, I remember George Lucas used to say that he wanted to do a Star Wars show that didn't have anybody it would be about the garbage man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was it, but it would be like he says, like George Lucas would say, well, the Empire would be present, but you wouldn't see them, and that's kind of what they did with Andor.
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be like the oppression of the people that are under the Empire.
Right.
But kind of where I was going also was when they don't show that force mystical sort of like grand image of the universe that Star Wars gives us. Like even the opening scene of A New Hope is this like planet with these ships coming across. It's very grand. Because Rogue One is a lot more gritty. When it does back out and have that space battle, it's very, oh wow, this is incredible. Right. And I know that Andor has done that. It was a little bit slower to do it in the first season. I think they're probably going to give us more.
I think it's going to be very amped up this time.
Yeah.
Well, with Andor, they were trying to introduce these characters, and it was a slow burn to do the process of it. You just couldn't jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the average Star Wars fan, you know, or the average person that would watch it, you know, a lot of them didn't like it because they wanted to see Darth Vader. They wanted to see the spaceships and this and that, and it wasn't like that. It was, you know, the universe is big. It's not all stormtroopers and Jedi Knights and Darth Vader everywhere, you know. There's the threat of the Empire, but they leave us alone and we just have to mind our P's and Q's until you get tired of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. If everybody has a lightsaber, how special are they?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and at that point too, the Jedi were killed off. It was becoming more of a myth than it was you know, an actual person. Everybody thought at the point thought they were make believe, and I thought this was just the tale.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, that's just it. Like even if we look, were there real knights back in the day, or was that just something that storytellers have told us?
Exactly.
You know, a kid today might not know that there was actually people in Knights of Armor that used to fight on the battlefields. They might think that, that's just something that came from video games or something.
Story. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited for the series.
There are stories of that in history currently. I could get nerdy about it, but just know, like, there are historical records of oh wait, this is what we think of this warrior being. Oh, that's all made up? That all of it is made up? Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
So after
which warrior being is made up?
the idea of the samurai being the noble warrior is actually all propaganda that was made up. So after the Tokugawa shogunate took over Japan, there was an entire samurai warrior class that had to be pacified, and there was no war now. So what do? He romanticized the job being a samurai and essentially made them nobles with no job.
Okay. Well,
so that idea
of ninjas, were ninjas ever real?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. With the throwing stars and the smoke bombs and the nunchucks and that's all real?
And so samurai were very real. Like they were that elite. But the idea of the noble warrior that sort of traveled and did good deeds and was only No, samurai beheaded all of their enemies and paraded the heads. That's what they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think ninjas were just fiction. I don't think that they were real. I don't remember seeing any samurai or ninjas at the War Museum when I went to the War Museum. I saw Knights of Armor. I saw tons and tons of armor.
Mm-hmm. Maybe when you go to Japan, you might see a museum that have ninjas in its stand.
I'm going to have to go to the War Museum of Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty, Ken, we're looking forward to Andor. I hope you are too. And while you're looking forward to Andor, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us about your idea for a show and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. Don't forget to join us on YouTube, like us and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a new show. All logos, songs, music, and sounds that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be owned by the Solo Show podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.